When I say the word pyramids, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it conjures up these really familiar images, right? It's a story we feel like we already know.
First up, we think of tombs. You know, these giant, spectacular graves for the long dead.
And then, of course, we picture the all-powerful pharaohs who ordered them to be built. And finally, we see these massive armies of slaves, right? Toiling away in the desert heat. Tombs, pharaohs, slaves, it's the story we all learned in school. Seems simple enough. But what if that simple story we all think we know is wrong? What if the pyramids are actually a massive paradox that completely flips our understanding of history on its head? The answer? Well, it might just change how you see everything.
See, to really wrap our heads around this puzzle, we can't actually start with the pyramids. We've got to look at what came before them.
Okay, so what you're looking at here is totally bizarre, because it shows the exact opposite of how technology is supposed to work. Usually, things start off kind of basic and get better over time, right? But with the pyramids, we see these early, simple tombs called mastabas, then a clunky first attempt, the step pyramid, and then, bam, the Great Pyramid of Giza, an absolute masterpiece of engineering that seemingly comes out of nowhere. And the weirdest part? After that, the pyramids they built got worse, smaller, sloppier, less precise. It's like inventing the iPhone 15 and then your follow-up product is a flip phone. It just makes no sense. This backwards evolution of technology forces us to ask a really uncomfortable question, one that a lot of historians don't like to touch. Did the Egyptians invent this knowledge from scratch? Or did they find it? Did they inherit it?
And the mystery? Oh, it gets so much deeper when you zoom in on the Great Pyramid itself. And trust me, the most shocking thing about it isn't its size.
We're all blown away by how big it is. And yeah, of course we are. But the real miracle of the Great Pyramid, the thing that keeps engineers up at night, isn't the scale. It's the precision, the almost impossible, mind-bending accuracy it was built with.
I mean, get this. The pyramid is aligned to true north with an accuracy that we would struggle to match today with all our lasers and satellites. Its massive base, which covers 13 acres, is perfectly level to within a single inch. It's built with advanced mathematical constants like the golden ratio baked right into its design. This wasn't just pretty good for its time. With the copper chisels and stone hammers they supposedly had, this should have been flat out impossible.
And here, right here, is the most baffling part of the entire thing. Inside this architectural marvel, there's nothing. No hieroglyphs explaining how they did it, no blueprints, no instruction manuals. A civilization pulls off one of the greatest engineering feats in history, and they don't write down a single word about it. Why? It's just silent.
So that brings us back to the question of who. Who actually built this thing? That powerful image of slaves is burned into our minds, but the evidence on the ground tells a completely different story.
Archaeologists have actually found the villages where the workers lived, and what they found changes everything. The skeletons show these workers ate well, tons of meat, bread, and beer. And this is amazing. They had top-notch medical care. We found bones that were broken, then expertly set and fully healed. These were not disposable slaves. They were skilled, highly valued professionals.
But here's the catch. Even an army of the most talented builders on Earth doesn't solve the core problem. Their hard work and skill can explain the effort needed to build the pyramid. But it doesn't explain the knowledge. It doesn't explain the genius-level astronomy, mathematics, and engineering that went into the blueprint itself.
So if the knowledge didn't just develop over time, and it can't be explained by the workforce alone, where on earth did it come from? Well, this leads us to a really fascinating and, pretty controversial idea.
It's called the lost knowledge theory. And the idea is pretty simple. What if history isn't a straight line, always going up and up? What if civilizations can peak, achieve incredible things, and then fall, taking all their secrets with them to the grave?
And this isn't just some wild guess. History is literally full of examples of this happening. The recipe for Roman concrete, which could set underwater, it was lost for over 1,500 years. We still have no idea how to make Greek fire, a terrifying ancient weapon. And the Antikythera mechanism, basically an ancient Greek computer, was so advanced that nothing like it was made again for another 1,000 years. Knowledge can and absolutely does disappear.
And this brings us to the final, haunting question that hangs over this whole thing: the silence that surrounds the pyramids.
If the Great Pyramid was such a massive achievement, why didn't they ever do it again? As we saw, the pyramids that came later were just pale imitations.
It's almost like the Egyptians themselves couldn't replicate what their own ancestors had done. The knowledge, it was just gone.
Now, it's really important to be clear about something. This mystery doesn't mean the pyramids were ancient power plants or alien landing pads or anything like that. The real puzzle isn't magical. It's historical. It's about a huge, gaping hole in the story of us.
In the end, we're left with this. The pyramids stand there in total silence, judging all of our easy assumptions. They don't offer any answers, they just are.
And in doing so, they throw down this profound challenge to our modern ego, that comfortable, cozy belief that we're the pinnacle of human history, that progress only ever moves forward.
The Great Pyramid is a monument not just to what a civilization can build, but to what a people can forget. It reminds us that our history isn't a complete book. It's a fragmented story with whole chapters ripped out. And sometimes, the biggest mysteries are the ones that have been hiding in plain sight all along.